Hey guys, still here and welcome back to From the Depths. Today, I already did quite a bit of work. And, well, I was recording it, I made a whole video out of it, uploaded it, spent a couple hours thinking about it, and then I deleted the whole thing. Because I thought, nope, this is not something I want to show. This is too poor of a quality. So, what have I done in the meanwhile? Well, some maintenance stuff, such as having an anti-missile system over here. It's a small turret that is controlled by an anti-missile controller, or an anti-missile defense block. It makes sure that any torpedo that gets sent in my direction is going to get taken out. It gets information from the passive sonars, which I now have over here. I also have a passive sonar array over there. And I have active sonar arrays here and here. Each has a connection to their own AI. So this one is for the anti-air missile guidance, and the other one is for the main AI that controls the torpedoes. I also have a third AI now, and this third AI is in control of these huge missiles. And this way I don't have to worry about what they're doing. I know that they're going to go after some big targets. At least that's how I have it set up. They're going to go for a really high value per block. And considering that these missiles are radar guided, they should also work that way. They should target the largest object. What else have I been doing? Well, I did design a satellite, but I was so unhappy about my own design that I deleted the whole thing. A satellite, basically a flying sensor platform to keep an eye on, well, basically whatever happens above water. Currently, I'm using sonobuoys for that. The sonobuoys, radar buoys, they kind of work, but usually the sensor platform, whatever type or form you make it, seems to work a little better. It's just that I did not really know how to do that. I'm also constantly getting warnings about the AI of the Red October and the DSRV, the mini sub that I named. It just doesn't work too well. And AIs and myself in this game don't really work together. I've tried it. I don't know if they recently changed it. I haven't checked the patch logs yet, or the patch notes, but it's just sucking away any fun that I have in the game. Because I have so little clue what I'm doing, and currently I don't have enough time to invest in learning it, that for the moment I'm going to just forego use of any kind of AI. Now at the moment it seems like there's basically nothing to do. It's the Red October and my mini sub and some salvage over there. But I think it is time to move on to greener pastures. We need bigger things to kill. So let's head over to this gate, move through it, and so see what's out on the other side. See if we can find something big to shoot at. Now, just as I'm on the way to try and find something easier to kill, or, well, more interesting to kill, something else has popped up. It's our old adversary, the Falkenheim, and its little duster companions. So it is time to test out the anti-air missile system. On top of that, I'll also be using a manual launch of my large missiles to see if I can hit the Falkenheim. And, well, if one of these things hit, I suspect that it's almost immediately going to knock out the whole craft. The only concern that I have is, can these make it to the target? Aside from that, I don't foresee too many problems. One thing I could do, by the way, is turn off the way that I have the weapons set up at the moment, so that I can see if these Duster Marines down here get shot at, or rather, no, if they drop torps, if the torps are going to get shot at by my anti-torpedo system. For now, it looks like the Falkenheim's already damaged. Targeting wooden slope. That was a good explosion. Yep, that was the AI dead. That is what these missiles can do. It looks like the anti-air package is also on the way. Ah, they didn't make it. Didn't have the range. So that's something I still might need to change. Make sure that those things have the range. Now it's a bit unfortunate that the objective is over there, that gate, and my resource stuff is over there. Let's just speed up a bit more and see if we can get those resources quickly, that is. Is that That's 7,000. It's a little under 10% of what I have right now. Let's not. Let's just go through the gate and figure out what else there is to kill. Okay then, we got ourselves a target. It's something that I have not seen before. At least I don't recall it. It's called a dissector. It looks like it's about to get some dissection all by itself, because if I'm not mistaken, my torpedo... No, these are inbound torpedoes, actually. What is this thing? Let's have a look. I'm seeing a railgun. A couple of rams, which seem to be more aesthetic than useful. A couple of torpedo launchers? Where? Because that thing was definitely throwing out torpedoes, but... Oh, here! They're right on the bow. Right. They got a sonar detector, so they know I'm here. They're really launching torpedoes. Nice way to hide your props over there. Big prop on the stern. And this seems mostly for aesthetic purposes, I guess. Anyway, it has got to go, naturally. Of course, it'd be great if I could capture it. That would, however, require me to leave the safety of my sub. And I am not quite up for that, despite there being 73,000 materials up for grabs. Now, one thing I would love to see is a distance indicator. More importantly, am I aware of it? And the answer is yes. I am targeting the, or tracking the dissector. And it looks like we have a missile outbound. That's probably one of the large missiles, because the torpedoes don't fire from that far away. Let's have a look and see if I can kill it. Now at this point I do like, or I would like to make some changes to this sub. I would like to add more vertical launch systems, so more weapons that are going to be flying up into the air and then traveling airborne. Torpedoes, maybe not so much. Because while torpedoes are very effective, I find that the 6 forward-facing medium torpedoes that I have, they actually seem to be doing their job perfectly. I don't know what else I would need. So, the huge missile launcher, or rather the huge torpedo launcher, as nice as it is, might not, at least for now, be coming back, because I don't really see the benefits. Now, let's fire the missiles and see if... Oh, they're still reloading. Yeah, of course, the AI is taking control. There go the torpedoes. Those inbound torpedoes, are they going to be a threat? These are outs. Those are shells. I think we're getting targeted by the rail... Yeah, we're definitely getting targeted by the railgun. So not only do they know where I am, and there go the outbound missile seekers, the torpedo counters, but I'm not sure what exactly it is that they're looking for. Because I'm not seeing any torpedoes coming in from them. Nor will we ever. Oh, there they are. Nor will we ever, because that thing is probably going to be killed off. There we go. Missiles countered. And this thing has been successfully eliminated. So that was a swift kill, 7,300. And considering the amount of resources that I can pick up, plus the ones that I got from doing damage, I came out ahead. I managed to get more points or more resources than I spent. By the way, behind me is the DSRV, the mini sub that I have. I gave it a passive sonar and, of course, an inter-vehicle connector, an inter-vehicle transmitter, so that it's serving as was suggested, a sort of passive sonar array towards the stern of my submarine. This way I can gather more information faster. I'm not sure if triangulation is a factor in this game, so that I can pinpoint my position from here, and they can indicate it from there, and then we share information and we get a better target motion analysis, if you will. I'm not sure if that's a thing. I don't think so. Anyway, with this huge hull, could I fit huge missiles? Huge missiles are also huge overkill, and hugely painful for your wallet while you're building them, because those things are so extremely expensive. They do, however, generally make you a bit. Because they can just wipe out, well, at least at my current tier, they can wipe out most targets in one swift blast. Let's see, I need to put those over here. The problem is, they are so big, they take up so much room, that I probably cannot have a lot of the parts. So I might not have all the parts that I require. Because right now I have a variable thruster, a one-turn explosive warhead, and fins. I don't have a tracker yet. Now, to be fair, I still need to cut through the hull to put the missile hatch on. So maybe I can make it work. This is part of my tri-layer armor. Is this it? Yeah, there it is. So I should be able to fit one more gantry on there. And then probably a missile hatch. So huge missiles, huge gantry. Not connected. No, you're right. It should be lower. It should be over there. But apparently there's something in the way there. Probably these parts of the hull. Come on. Which blocks are those? These? Or no, it might be these as well. Because the missile needs more room. Gantry? There we are. So now I also have a seeker. Activator seeker. It's deadly-ish. 107,000 damage. It's going to spread that out over quite a radius of 32 meters. It's pretty fast. 184 meters per second. Lifetime is good. Thrust duration is not. That's a problem. I don't think I need a one-turn, but I do need a prediction guidance. And the internal space is currently used for fuel, so it's just not going to go very far. Now the alternative is to not use a prediction guidance, but a fuel tank. And of course a fuel tank would make the thing go significantly farther. At least one would think so. Wait. Why is my thrust duration still 12 seconds? I added a fuel tank. Interesting. Do they take up so little room? Those one prediction guidance? Prediction guidance. Yeah, I guess they don't really take up a lot of fuel anyway. Or a lot of space. Turn rate? Terrible. Absolutely terrible. 9 degrees per second. The alternative is to make this thing really slow. This way it has a thrust duration of 40 seconds. It does still turn terrible. It's because it's so big. If I give it a turning thruster, we can up that. Effectively reducing the amount of fuel that we have available. You're allowed to use all of your fuel if you want to. Because that way I make sure that it actually starts turning. Yeah, let's just try this thing as is. A huge hatch for 6,000 is a bit much. Oh, I bottomed out. Crap. Weapon slot 4. Turn the AI off. Turn... that's the missile guidance, yes. Turn this one off. Turn that one off. Missile guidance is fine. That's the NTR missile. Is there a threat? Anything I can shoot this thing at? Probably not. See, this is why I generally don't use these things. Because this just cost me about 50k, 40k to build. That's really expensive. Whereas the large missiles, they seem to be good enough. Anyway, we need a target. And I need to make sure that the hull doesn't flood as badly as it does. So let's build a box around this thing. And just make sure that nothing leaks through. I'm not sure what is blowing up. But it seems to be reacting pretty violently to something on the sub. It's not the Heartstone. Because the Heartstone is still charging, so that's not it. I don't believe I have any beacons that are exploding aboard the submarine. Not sure what that was about. Here... This is supposed to be metal. Yeah, like that. And then we have another metal beam here, just a 2-meter one. Otherwise I'm infringing on the terrain of the missile launcher. There's still a spot, isn't there? No. So why is my submarine bottoming out? There we go. Now we're decreasing in depth. We're going back up. Apparently that part, that missile launcher, causes too many issues. Currently these warheads are major explosive warheads. They do 30,000 damage each. And they fly how far? They fly 109 seconds, 74 seconds. So I can hit stuff at 7.5 kilometers out. Okay. These deliver 107,000, but they only fly for, well, give or take 4.5 kilometers. And you're lucky if you hit something with them. You're lucky if you hit anything. What I would love is a feature, by the way, here that says default sea skimming. Great. Okay, but what altitude? How high above the water level? That would make it a bit easier. Because that way I could dictate, okay, I want it to be this high, and make sure that it doesn't clip through any waves. Because sometimes it does that. Now again, there's currently nothing to be done. So I'm going to pause the recording and wait for something to show up. After a while, and of course traversing another gate didn't make it any faster, I have arrived in a combat situation. I'm actually very shallow here. I'm at minus 17. Let's make that minus 40. I think that should still be sufficient to make sure the periscope works. I'm going to be gathering some resources here. And at the same time engaging the sailing ship that is up ahead. Now let's see if I can get that periscope and thus the resource gatherer above water. And then meanwhile launch the huge missile. This thing takes quite a bit of time to speed up, by the way. I set it to 10 seconds because I normally travel at about 200 meters depth. And they have the lifetime to sustain that. So it's going to take them a while to spin up. Now when they get there, they're going to deliver that 100,000 points of damage. So that, I hope, is going to be sufficient to kill it. But keep in mind, this thing has no fins. So every turn that it has to make has to be done with the turning thruster. It's not doing that. And then it ran out of fuel, and it just dies. That's kind of what I was worried about. Those things just don't do very well. So let's instead go for the torpedoes. Launch those. Launching them manually. I still have the AI turned off. Follow those in. Do some harvesting. And just get rid of that huge missile launcher. Because it's a bit of a waste. It's a bit of a joke. It doesn't do as much damage. Well, no. How should I put this? Yes, it does damage. It does 3 times the damage. But it does that at 4 times the price. Building one large missile takes 640 materials. That's substantial. Building one large missile, so not the huge one, this one takes 160. So it comes at 4 times the price, but it does not do 4 times the damage. If you can get them to launch, great. I have considered putting them in the bow and just having them just go from here pretty much all the way to there. But I probably can't, at least not in good conscience, make those things sustainable. So I'm not going to use it. As much as I like them, I'm not going to use it. Alright, full stop. I'm just going to be salvaging some resources here, and in the meanwhile, torpedo the guy over there again. Which seems to have completely capsized as the starboard side got blown off. So their buoyancy on the starboard side is gone. Their AI is dead. And the craft leaves behind a mere 3,000 resources. That's actually pretty underwhelming. Pretty damn underwhelming. I was hoping for a lot more than that. Why am I only looking at 3,000 resources? And sure enough, I got some resources just from killing it, but not as much. Anyway, this was an interesting experiment. I did want to do it, and just to see how it would work. Is it worth it? No, it is not. It is a huge resource hog. Oh shit, I'm built in battle. What battle am I in? It's a huge resource hog that you just can't really justify. Or at least I can't. The torpedo version, though, fun. Lots and lots and lots of fun. They're great weapons. Because torpedoes generally just travel a whole lot further, and on top of that, benefit from the underwater explosive damage. So let's get this part removed. Let's get that removed. This stuff here. These blocks here. And then see if I can sort of put my Humpty Dumpty hull back together. I believe they're... Are these 2-meter beams? Yeah, they have to be. And then one... Whoops. Shit. So there, a 4-meter beam here. And then... another one here, that's a 2-meter beam. It's become a bit of a hodgepodge of stuff, but so far it's alright. These are lengthwise beams. I can just replace those easily. There. Right. 109,000 materials, plus, of course, the stuff that's up for grabs there, and that's something that my DSRV can go and get. Is there more stuff up for grabs here, and if yes, how much? 4,600. It's okay. Oh, we're mining faster than this zone can respawn it. Nah, sure enough, there's still about 8k there. So, if I wanted to put this thing along the length of the submarine, the huge missile launcher, I think it's still not worth it. We've seen that 12 of these torpedoes did a ton of damage. Enough to sink that ship, that Essen. 12 of these comes out to, let's see, 10 of them is 440. So that's about 520, rounded up. 520 points of materials. That's not enough to afford one huge missile. And one huge missile would probably do it, but meh, not really worth it. Another suggestion that keeps popping up is a pack. A plasma cannon. Now, I have no experience with these things. I know that they supposedly can do a lot of damage, but I have not yet gone through the tutorial, so I cannot quite make one of these yet. It might be fun, because they apparently don't suffer from underwater effects. They don't take any kind of damage, or they don't take kind of negative modifier. Like, for example, a shell that is supercavitating, you lose quite a bit of its punching power, even with the supercavitating shell. But these things apparently are really, really good. So I might look into one of these for a future episode. For now, this one's done. We have tested the huge missile launcher. We have some more defenses. We have the DSRV buzzing around collecting stuff. And for now, well, I'm not really sure what else to do with the Red October at this point. But you might, so let me know down below in the comment section. What should I add to this submarine? Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments, and I'll see you soon for another episode.